morning everyone, welcome to the Maths department here. This is the area in which we would normally meet and greet you. My name is Chris Farmer, I'm Head of Curriculum and Cross College Maths Coordinator, and we call this area the orange area. So because we can't see you here today, we thought we'd just show you a little bit about where maths is undertaken in Suffolk 1. So if we look around the edges here, we can see the various different classrooms, and all these classrooms around the edges all the way around are maths classrooms. And upstairs on the balcony as well, we have other maths classrooms as well. So we're all in the same area. We'll have a quick look at one of the classrooms so that you can have a look inside. They're all of them a bit of the same really. And altogether there's 8 teachers in maths. So there's 8 teachers in maths, and we're going to meet a couple of them, I think. So if we come in here, this is Ray in here at the moment. Hello. And we can, everyone's getting ready for the start of the day because it's the morning at the moment. And this is a typical maths classroom. Every classroom has a whiteboard and a projector, which we can use to, it's an interactive whiteboard, and we connect to it with our iPads as well if we want to. So let's see, we have lots of different maths courses available. We have Further Mathematics, which is a double A-level. We have A-level Mathematics, which is the new reformed A-level from 2017, which was first examined in 2019. We have AS Mathematics, which is half an A-level and done over 1 lesson a week for 2 years. And we have a Core Maths, which is also half an A-level. It's an AS course. The maths in AS Maths and Core Maths are totally different. I'm going to be talking about the top 3 here, including AS Maths. There is another presentation done by some of my colleagues for Core Maths, which I would advise if you're interested in doing AS Maths, you pop over to that at some point in the evening and watch, because the difference between AS Maths and Core Maths is quite considerable. Core Maths tends to be more functional maths, more real life maths. And then finally we have GCSE, resits and functional skills for our level 2 students trying to get a grade 4 at GCSE. Altogether we've got about 800 students. Well, actually there's more than that now. It's getting on for 900 students doing some form of mathematics in the college. That's about 40% of the college. Okay, if we have a look at A-level maths first, the picture shows the resources and the books that we use for A-level maths. There's 4 books altogether, 2 for the first year, 2 for the second year, although we don't quite do it like that. We do the stats in the first year and the mechanics in the second year. All students are provided with their own textbooks, and there is an online version on Maths at 1. Maths at 1 is the internal SharePoint site. It's a website for all maths students, for all courses to do with maths, and it's just packed full of resources. So the 2 blue books that you can see in the picture are the pure maths books, and the 2 brown books are the stats and mechanics books. What you can't tell is that the blue books are a lot fatter and bigger because they have far more content in them, and that's because in the A-level, 2/3 of the A-level is pure maths, which is the blue books, and 1/6 is mechanics and 1/6 is statistics. So we currently have 107 students in our year 12 A-level maths groups and 101 students in year 13. That's 5 classes in each year group, and a bit of mental maths will tell you that that's around about just over 20 students per class. We like to keep our classes under 22. 22 really is the maximum size we want for any maths class. So in terms of assessment for the A-level, summative assessment at the end of the year is in the first year is internal exams. We moved away from doing the external AS when the A-level moved from a modular course to a linear course in 2017. And so you can see here the end of year 1 exams is 2 papers, one for pure maths, which is worth 100 marks, and one for statistics, which is worth 60 marks. And then at the end of the second year, these are the actual external examinations for the A-level. There's 3 papers altogether. There's 2 pures worth 200 marks, and a third paper, statistics and mechanics, worth 100 marks. Now, just under the books you can see some leaflets, and these leaflets we would normally hand out, but you can actually hopefully download them from the college website. If I just highlight them here, then we will have a look at each one of those in a minute. So one last thing before we move on here, the entry grade for A-level mathematics is a grade 7 at GCSE. So just looking at these sheets, on the left hand side is the course materials for maths, as I've blown it up here, which you can download and have a look at. It's got information about the course and the maths that's involved in the course. And some of the elements that we cover. It's got information about the qualification itself and the assessment, which I've already been through, and the costs that involve. And in fact, the costs that involve are only a calculator. There is a certain type of calculator you need to have, so I will go through that in a little while. But that course sheet's available to you. On the reverse of that course sheet is some information about some possible careers where A-level maths could lead you, what A-level maths could lead you into, which might be interesting. But A-level maths is a facilitated subject and will facilitate nearly every possible career you could think of. Okay, so on the right is the AS course sheet, and the AS course is a brand new course this year. We only have one class of AS students, and you may recall that earlier I said we dropped the AS and went to internal exams at the end of the first year. We found that there are some students that really are not doing A-level maths and are doing subject areas that require a considerable amount of maths. In fact, most A-levels do require a considerable amount of maths now, since the reforms. However, some subjects are more suited towards core maths than they are AS maths, and our core maths has really taken off. We have over 5 classes, nearly 90 students doing core maths this year, which is quite amazing. However, as I said, the core maths doesn't suit all subject areas, so for the students that are studying physics, chemistry, electronics and engineering, they really need the calculus and the algebra and the trigonometry, and which isn't really embedded in the core maths so much. So we put this course on for those students. They do have to do 3 A-levels as well as the AS course. It is a 2-year course, 1 lesson a week, and it is half the A-level. So they do get UCAS points out of it to help them with their university application. I think though, out of all the course materials that are available for A-level and further mathematics and AS mathematics, the one in the middle here is the most important from my point of view, and you can see that this was started out with a letter and is a booklet and has got lots and lots and lots and lots of examples and exercises and solutions to 3 of the most important topics that A-level students need to be proficient at when they start the A-level course. Now, this is all higher level work at GCSE. It's grade 8 and 9 GCSE questions, the reason why we give it out at open events is because it's GCSE, it will help with revision. Now, we did use this also for the transition material over the summer holiday during lockdown for our prospective students at A-level, and we are scaffolding our lessons at the start of this year because of lockdown with this work and extending on them, and then we will test this actually in this week coming. Is the diagnostic for this work and a slight extension on the AS. So you could get hold of this. It's 61 pages. It's got an information page at the front of it from me and my email address. So if you want to contact me, you feel free to do so about anything to do with maths at Suffolk 1. It shows you the importance of being good in these topic areas, which are algebra, graphs and trigonometry. They're the 3 areas that you really need to be good at, and looking through this and trying some of the examples and trying some of the questions and checking your answers at the end would be an ideal way for you to prepare ready for 1 for your GCSE and 2 for starting your A-level course. So we'll just have a look at further maths now. And you can see here the resources that are required for further maths. We currently have 2 classes in year 12. They're quite small though. We have 10 in one and 12 in the other. We could obviously make 1 class out of that, but it was felt, given the current climate, that it would be better for the students and everybody to keep it as 2 small classes, which is quite nice. And in year 13 we have 1 class with 17 students in it. So we don't get that many further maths students, although we would always love to have more. However, to be a further maths student, you need to be on quite a high GCSE grade profile, because further maths is the equivalent of 2 A-levels. And then you would need to study a further 2 A-levels on top of that. So all further maths students start on 4 A-levels. Further maths students tend to be very studious, very committed, for obvious reasons, and most importantly very well organised. So often our further maths students apply to Oxbridge or Cambridge or one of the other Russell universities, and they are required to prepare for those universities in terms of their interviews, which we help with, and the STEP and MAT examination papers, which we also help with on a lunchtime, to see if we can help them answer those type of questions, because they are totally different to normal A-level questions. So from the resources below you can see there's quite a lot of books, and that's because it's the equivalent of 2 A-levels. And you can see that the A-level books are on the left and the right hand side, the blue and brown ones, and then in the middle we have FP1, FM1, Book 1 green and Book 2 green, which are our pure further maths pures books. Now, further maths students tend to do all the A-level in the first year, so we don't split it and do 2 lessons of further maths and 2 lessons of A-level maths. We do all of the A-level in the first year, and at the end of the year they sit the exam and they gain their A-level maths qualification. Hopefully it's a very good qualification. Anything from an A star to a B is what we normally expect from a further maths student, and then they're ready to go on and do the further maths A-level in year 13. And then, so we have 4 lessons of maths for further maths students per week. And at this point in time, I probably haven't mentioned anything so far about the lessons at 1. Just in case you don't know, we have 2 lessons a day. They are 2 hours 15 minutes each, and so 1 before lunch, 1 after lunch, and there is a 15-minute break in the middle. So it's a bit like having a 2-hour lessons back to back. So we have staggered lunch at the moment and staggered break times and staggered end of day to try and reduce the flow of students around the college, given the current climate. Okay, so given the high level of maths required, the entry requirement for further maths is grade 8 at GCSE. Now you can see I've just expanded the course material in the middle there. That's the course sheet that gives you more information which you can download, and that will tell you information about the course that I possibly have neglected to mention quickly here. There is a section on the top right about how you're assessed. Now, of course, those exams in the first year are your A-level exams, the maths A-level exams, and in the second year it's the further maths A-level exams. So you can see there's 4 examinations for the further maths A-level in year 13. The costs are the same as the A-level. And one thing that's probably important to note here is that the bridging material, which I talked about earlier for A-level, is highly important at GCSE level for further maths students. So this is something, if you're thinking about being a further maths student, you will definitely want to get hold of the bridging material in terms of revision for your GCSE this next summer coming. So if we take a look at the costs that are involved in A-level and further maths and AS maths, the only real costs that are involved are the provision of your own stationery. So all our students are expected to provide their own stationery, and we prefer at A-level to have A4 paper which is put in a folder, because each A-level class has 2 different teachers, and further maths can have up to 4 different teachers, and the organisation for A-level students is a key attribute to their progress. So to become a good independent learner, you need to be well organised, and having folders for separate teachers with all your work sorted out nicely is a perfect way to start your organisation. In terms of a calculator, there is a minimum specification for the calculator. It's the Casio FX911EX class Whiz. It's a bit of a tongue-full, but being the minimum specification, it will do everything you need, and I think its current retail price is around about £23.50 from Amazon. You might be able to get it cheaper elsewhere. But to be honest, if you're definite about doing A-level maths, then you might want to think about getting this calculator, if you haven't already got it, for your GCSEs instead, because the sooner you get used to all the different functions and buttons on it, the most you can. Obviously we'll have to teach you some of them, but the sooner you get used to as many as you can, the better you will be. It will put you in a perfect position for starting your A-level. I did mention earlier, I think, that some of our further maths students end up buying graphical calculators. I wouldn't do that at this moment in time. We can guide you on to which one's best at the time when it comes round to you actually thinking that you might need one. But you don't really need one at the moment, and you have to be careful about ones that you can take into the examination with you. So that's the calculator that you will absolutely have to have at some point during your A-level. Now we don't need it straight away, because the first time we start to need it is when we start to do statistics, and we don't start with statistics immediately. Okay. I often get asked about support we offer in maths, and to be honest, we think we offer some of the best support in the college. So there are a tremendous amount of things that we do and try to do to help support our students in all courses. So the first thing that students need to be able to do is to go and see their teacher, or any maths teacher, and there's 8 of us, so therefore there'll always be someone there available for the students to go and ask, both during lesson times and outside of lesson times. There's a maths clinic session every day except Friday in the room 004 at 12:15 to 1 o'clock for individual one-to-one support, or for you students just to come and do their homework or sit quietly and do something where they've got a maths teacher available to help if they need it. There's the possibility to email your teachers if you have a problem, and in fact we're using Microsoft Teams a lot now, so you could even use Teams. Or students can email me, Chris Farmer, anytime they wish, because we're always there to try and help. Lunchtime tutorial sessions are available later in the year once we've done a fair amount of the curriculum, and they're designed to help students recap some of the topics that they've done quite a long way back at the start of the term. Make use, there's numerous resources available at Maths at 1, especially supported study work, there's 3 different types of supported study work depending on the ability of the student and what their needs are. There's the situation where we often get Year 13 student volunteering to mentor Year 12 students, and we sometimes get Year 13 students going into Year 12 lessons to recap and revisit some of the work that they did in the first year. And finally, there's supervised study, which is an option for our intervention, but also an option that students sometimes come and ask to be put into, so that they can be given some structure in their independent study periods. So that's a fair amount of support being offered there for all of our students. So one of the things I'm often asked about is results, and here are our results for this year, but of course these are CAGS results, so Central Assessment Grades. So we can't really make much out of those in terms of comparing them to the national average, because they are just grades against other institutions that chose to the grades for their students. So I think the best thing to do in terms of talking about results is to have a look at the previous year, which is 2019, and these are our 2019 results. Obviously, if you remember that 2019 was the first year the full cohort of A-level students were examined with the new reformed A-level, and our results are, well, as you can see, 91.1% A star to C, which is fantastic, 16% above the national average. 76.8 A star to B, even better in terms of above the national average. 100% A star to B for further maths, we'd expect that. Core maths was above the national average, and GCSE for post-16 students resitting GCSE was 18.5% above the national average. Absolutely fantastic. That brings me to the end of this presentation, and all that remains for me to say is thank you very much for listening. Please stay safe, and we hope to see you in September. Good luck with your GCSEs. Thank you.